Welcome to the Visser Podcast. Today we got an exciting show. We're going to the gym. Guess what? So I really wanted to kind of get off this treadmill that we're on for a little bit, and we're gonna have more of these series where we actually go to the gym. So today we're gonna focus on deltoid training. These anterior, lateral, and posterior deltoids. Okay. And what we're doing here is we're looking at the science, we're looking at everything and saying, okay, what is the most efficient way to train them? One of the ways to train a muscle efficiently is to load it at its most stretched. This has proven to be very effective. So we're going to also do that. And really with the delts is tricky because we really want to angulate our bodies in a certain way so that we truly focus on the delt, okay? And the muscle that we're working. So if we're working the lateral delt, we want to truly focus on the lateral delt and not be off kilter. So that means we're going to have to put our body in a certain position. So let's start with our lateral delts. Okay, here you can see me leaning on an incline bench press. Okay, the incline bench press is moved up to almost vertical. It's like one notch from completely vertical so that we have a lean angle. I'm going to go into that lean angle, which puts me in the perfect position for my lateral delts. And then as I'm moving my lateral delts up with the weight, I'm pouring tea. Okay, I'm pouring tea. All right, for people. So that is the perfect movement. It hits the lateral delt specifically and it isolates it. So the other thing that we don't want to do is when we're doing this training to bring in other muscle groups while we're doing this. So the trapezius could come in, the rhomboids could come in, all these, the back muscles could come in and help work. We don't want that. Triceps, biceps. So we want to keep everything kind of quiet, least stress possible, so we can really focus on that lateral delt. I want you to feel it. I want you to touch it. I want that brain muscle connection so you know what you're doing and where you're doing and why you're doing it. And it's good to kind of feel it, touch it, have someone touch it while you're doing it. So you really know where you're working out, okay? What muscle you're working out. So the lateral delts, that's the first movement. Okay, now we're gonna go to the second movement. The second movement is really what I talked about before, and that is stretching the muscle to the max, okay, and putting the most load on it. So we're gonna have to go to a cable machine, and we're gonna have to put the trolley of the cable machine up high between our knees and our hips, about that height, okay, so that when our arm is down, we have the most load on our shoulders, because when our arm is down, this is stretched as much as it can go. That's when we want the most load. And as we come up, the load lessens. Okay, so this is the most effective way to work that lateral shoulder deltoid. So we're doing that, and we're doing it about the same position as we were, maybe a little more as exaggerated, but not much more, as we were on the incline press bench. So this is our second lateral delt movement. Next, we're going to move to our rear delt movement. In the rear delt movement, there's a lot of things you can do. You can do the machine that kind of separates like this, or you can do cables that go like this, but nothing really works as good as what I'm about to show you. And this, I call this the Superman. You put the incline bench again at 30 degrees. So like you would be doing a bench, and then what you're doing is you're actually moving the weights with straight arm. You're straight arming the weight all the way back to your hips, as you can see up there that we're doing. Okay, and all these exercises we're doing 8 to 12 reps, and we're keeping it at 3 sets. Okay, 3 to 4 sets with a warm-up set, of course, so it makes it 4. So we're doing these, and then at rep 8 or 6, turn your palms out and then pull the weight up to your waist. Okay, so you're pulling the weight up to your waist. That's going to really activate this last part of your rear delt. So you're doing a combo here. You're actually doing what we call a superset on the rear delts, and you're going to burn them. You're going to really feel them like never before. Okay, so I want you to do this. I want you to do this with some heavy weights. You can go heavier here. Okay, so the next exercise that we're going to do is focusing on the anterior delts. And the reason I do the anterior delts last is because we do a lot of exercises. All our bench pressing, push-ups, everything we do pushing is focused on anterior delts anyway. So they get kind of like, trained as secondary in a lot of different exercises. So I want less focus on that. The more focus needs to be on the lateral delt and the rear delt, which, both of these don't get enough attention. So with the front delts, what we want to do is palms in with the weights, and you keep it palms in and you push up. And this basically I do so I isolate that anterior delt. Okay, so I get minimum trapezius involvement, minimum, tricep involvement, really focused on that weight being constantly on that anterior delt. Even when I'm coming low and it's in a stretch position, there's weight on it. So that's it. All right, we're going to have more of these. Ring the bell notification, subscribe if you haven't, send it to your friends. And the routine is years of experience, 45 plus years of experience, and looking at the science and seeing what works with muscle hypertrophy. So you're getting really the insights. And these little angles make all the difference in the world. Trust me on this. See you next time.